Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to this episode of the Malkan Show. A bit delayed by 2 hours. We had a session, this live seminar this morning, but I hope all of you are doing good. Greetings for the Eid Mubarak to all the friends who are celebrating Eid out there. It's a beautiful day today. And the rest of us, I hope everything is going on fine. As usual, we've been getting a lot of feedback on the show from people about the topics, about the content, on how it's about the practices that people are following, and about how they're sharing the changes that they're making after listening to the show, and it feels really amazing. So please do write to us if you're listening to me. Please write to me on how the implementation is going with you, on your feedback, and also feedback on the topics, right? So today, before we begin, let me see who do we have today. It's commenting on very tight schedule. That's okay. We love to do, when you love to do what you do, there's nothing such as a schedule or a tight schedule. It's every moment you're just enjoying having fun. And let's see, we have 18 people here who's joining from where. Very interesting thing where I was having a conversation with one of the person that I was coaching on uh, creating joy from what you do, from the actions that you take every week. And that got me thinking on the topic for today. If you remember, we'd all spoken on energy in one of the sessions on Malkan's view, on Malkan show, sorry. So that in that session, we touched the session of energy very peripherally. We spoke about how to have more energy. Well, that is such a topic, and that's such a deep topic actually. And there's more to it that I would want to share on how to create the energy that you really want to experience from others. And that is something that I'd like to speak on today. Something very close to my heart, and I speak a lot about it with my coaching students. And there's Hardik joining us, who's saying we can hear you, and this is my first time watching you live. Thank you, Hardik. Thank you for coming to the show and watching me. And for those who are having audio problems, I would recommend you to connect your audio setting, because most of you all can hear me. So maybe sometimes it does happen that your audio, the connection has a problem, or the audio is not switched on. So please take a moment before I begin to check your audio connections. I think should be okay. And we have Amitabh Das from Kolkata. Hello, Amitabh. Welcome. Welcome to the show. It feels really wonderful where I know it's being a holiday and you chose this afternoon to join us. It feels really, really wonderful. Now let's dive in straight to the topic what we're going to talk in today. So, as usual, whatever I talk is based on, I keep reading a lot about high performers and how they achieve what they do. Because a lot of it is what I want to be replicated in my life as well. As a high performer aspirant, you can call me. So one thing, when I was reading Robin Sharma, his latest book, The 5M Club, is a fantastic read, guys, by the way. You should get a copy for yourself. So what he says, energy is more valuable to a person than intellect. Now that's a huge statement. So when you're saying, it's usually the intellect that most of us are after, because we think that that's the answer. But when you hear the statement such as, energy is more important than intellect, the statement has got depth. So let's understand what is energy. If we really have to create more energy, generate more energy for ourselves, what is this whole energy about? So broadly, when you speak about energy, we deal with energy at four levels. That's how it is. So you begin with the physical energy, then you move on to mental energy, then you have your emotional energy, and the last is the spiritual energy. So these are the four types of energies that we have to take care within ourselves, right? So and it's a proven thing, you could have experienced yourself too, that when energy sucks, everything sucks, nothing does work out. So energy is something that keeps you in your A game, energy that keeps you in a top level all the time. And that is what it is. So when you study high performers, they have this amazing levels of, you can call stamina, you can call vibrancy, they have amazing levels of buoyancy, they have amazing energy by themselves. And that leaves me wondering so many times when I see them speaking on videos or on stage, or when I read their books, the one thing that I always used to wonder is how do they generate this kind of energy? How do they manage to sustain this kind of energy that they have? And how does this happen? So tell me, guys, before we go on to do that, have you ever experienced, that have you got in touch with your own energy. Do you feel that in your life also lack of energy does play an important role? You know, when you have you are you able to connect to the energy level that you know, you're aware that when your energy goes down, a lot of things are not working out for you in your life? Have you ever done that? I'd be happy if you share. We could have more sharing on the show so that we can have more nuggets to discuss on, more things to discuss upon, and maybe I can share some things. We can have more topics on discussion in this. Okay, so people are still having audio problems. Please connect with your setting because for most of them the audio is clear. We have Girish also from Mumbai joining. Thank you, Girish, for joining. Kalpesh Thakkar says you are an inspiration man. Thank you so much for this. The thing is, the inspiration comes from inside. When you read or when you listen to these high performers, you cannot help but aspire to live the life that they are and live, you know, the magnetic personality that they carry, the way they serve their role in the universe. That's amazing, and that's what I aspire to do myself. Thank you so much. Yes, Kalyani says I'm aware of it. Okay, so that's what. Let's dive into the topic. Let's dive into straight on how to get more energy. So many people I have seen, when someone asks you, you know, how come you have these amazing levels of energy? The most casual reply that people give is, "Oh, I don't know. It just happens. You know, ho jata." That is the worst thing. That's the worst kind of reply you can give, guys. If people are acknowledging the high levels of energy that you have, you need to, one thing that you need to start doing is you need to stop being casual about your energy level, because your energy comes from where your thoughts and your conditioning make up your energy. So we can never be casual that it happens. You can never be like it happens automatically. It's never automatically. You're generating it. Your thoughts and your conditioning are generating the energy that you carry. So you have to own responsibility for your energy. The days and the weeks and the months that you're not feeling energetic, you own the responsibility for that. The days that you're feeling super energetic and you are buoyant all the time, you're your best vibrant self, you need to take responsibility for that as well. So understand one thing, you know, how it is with emotions. We don't have emotions within us. It's like we generate them. You don't have anger within you, you're generating that anger. There are events happening that's helping you generate that anger. The same is with energy. You don't have energy stored in you. Look at the powerhouse that generates energy. We're just like that. We have to keep generating that energy all the time. So the responsibility is ours to have it or not. So the first things first, before we dive into the steps, the first thing is stop being casual about the energy levels that you carry. If you don't have energy within, just generate it, period. As simple as that. Now, in this session, I'm going to give you three simple steps to go, three daily things that you can do to generate that energy within yourself, you know, to be the powerhouse that you have. Just, you know, what I used to do in my days when I started the practices, I cut out a picture of a powerhouse and put it in my vision board right straight away. You can see it right here. What that reminds me is that I am responsible for creating the energy, generating the energy, just like the powerhouse is responsible for generating the power. That's it. So the step, there goes our step number one. Here is the clear cut framework for you. Step number one is try to be the most positive person that you can in a room full of people. The onus is on you. You can be the energy pace setter, you can say. Or even if it's not a room full of people, even though it may be a pair of you and your spouse, have the responsibility to be the energy pace setter between the two of you. It could be anything. It could be with your one-on-one with your friend, with your child, or with your two children. It could be with your colleagues. Anywhere you're in, any room or any relationship, try to be the energy pace setter. Because you know, you have to get onto the level of building so much energy, because you'll have to give us so much of your energy outside. So try to build so much inside that you can easily spill more of it outside. That's it. And the truth is, guys, when you bring joy to other people, they reciprocate with more joy. It's very spontaneous. They give it back to you. It's super spontaneous. So try to build more energy, try to spread more joy. There's one thing that I've learned from my coach, called Brendan Busher, that in whatever you do, you know, your all your endeavors, all your pursuits have to lead you towards bringing more joy to people. That's it, that you have to do. So when we went to when I was undergoing this intense coaching program called high performance certified coach, that was happening in the US last year. And the program was super intensive, 5 days of intensive coaching. They were training us to how to coach people. At the end of 5 days, there were groups divided, and our group performed exceptionally well in the mock tests, mock sessions that were taken. So at the end of it, we just wrote to Brendan that we are super enthusiastic about this whole thing. We're super grateful. We want to give back something. Is there something that we can give you, or some small memento? What would you like to have? What he replied is, I do not want anything. I just want you to bring more joy. Every time you come to me, just bring more joy. So the man, he just emutes joy. I mean, it's joy all the time. That's what it is. So when you bring more joy, bringing more joy and energy into that relationship that you're part of, into the room that you're present in. So whenever you walk into a room, or you're walking into, you're going out for a date with your spouse, or having a beautiful play date with your child, always remember before starting off that you have to be the person that will show off maximum energy. You are going to be the leader when it comes to the energy part of it. That's one step, guys. You can start practicing this right away. The second and a very important step is that identify that one thing that gives you a lot of energy in the morning. For each of us, this is different. For me, for example, the best thing that gives me energy at the beginning of my days is playing with my kids. Spending just that initial. It can be as little as 10 to 15 minutes in the morning, playing with them or chatting with them. That sets up the tone for my day. It is so fulfilling as a mother to know, from to speak to them such simple things, that what is their plan for the day, what do they intend to do, what is it that they would like me to do. Or it could be stories from the previous day. They would be talking, mama, this happened and this was good yesterday, and oh, I remembered this, we need to do this, oh, can we plan this for this week. It could be any conversation, but that conversation straight away gives me so much energy and vibrancy to begin my day on the right foot. So identify what is it for you that is setting up the energy for that day. You could list out a few. What could it be for you? What is that one thing? For a lot of people, it is workout. They need that movement in the morning to build their energy for the day. For some, it could be meditation. A lot of us are used to having that quiet time, that connection time early in the morning. For some, it could be reading newspapers in the morning. It could be anything. What is it that gives you more energy? Would you like to share? What is it, guys, that gives you most energy in the morning? Well, someone shares, joy is the greatest gift that you can give anybody, which is so, so true. Bring the joy, yes. And after knowing Brendan and getting coached under him, me and Vishal both personally, we follow this so much, to the extent that all that we do, we try to do this. This is the first thing that goes on. Whatever activity, just bring the joy, and that's what we've taught the kids too. Whatever you do, just bring the joy, and see, once you do this, the whole thing is going to change. Yes, so what is it? So Kalyani shares meditation is something that gives her more energy in the morning. Well, if that is that's one of the best ways to begin the day. Of course, Kalyani, thank you for sharing. Girish shares willpower. So what are those practices, guys, that you're willing to share? Well, Puneet shares, very good. We shares Sudarshan Kriya. Well, Sudarshan Kriya, for those who are not aware, this is something that's a kind of breathing technique followed by a deep meditation, which they teach you into Art of Living program. This is fantastic. I have been the practitioner of Sudarshan Kriya since many, many years, and I can vouch for it. So great, thank you. So these are some of the, okay, Vishal shares inspirational video in the morning. No wonder when you watch Vishal before beginning the day, he's always with his phone watching people like Grant Cardone, Gary Vee, his list of mentors. That's what he watches the first thing in the morning. So that is for him. It could be different things for different people. Identify what is it that gives you big energy in the morning, and do that thing first thing in the morning. Simple, period. Don't do anything else. If it's spending time with the kids, doing meditation, watching videos, whatever it is, do that. Remember, you're responsible for creating the energy, for generating the energy, and your responsibility begins the day you begin your day. सबसे पहले वो करो, do that first thing. Then the next thing is go on to make a list of 3 things, just 3 things. Please write it down if you have a notepad and a pen. Thing number 1, who are the people that give you more joy? Thing number 2, Which are the pursuits that give you more joy? क्या करने से, what are the actions or activities that give you more joy? And third thing is, which are the places that give you more joy? Your life should revolve around these three things: the people that give you more joy, the pursuits that give you more joy, and the places that give you more joy. Numerous conversations I've had with a lot of people where they say, I'm just not okay with doing the work that I'm doing. If given a chance, I would quit my job tomorrow. So if this is the kind of pursuit that you're in, this is how you're intending to make your money, where you have to go to this place which you don't like, work with the people you don't like, and do the work you don't like, how will you generate the energy? Because there is no joy at all. That's as simple as that. So make a list of these three things and let your life revolve around it. If you don't like this particular activity, fine, just get rid of it. Try to get knowledge, try to get education, try to get your competence in doing something which you love to do. Then it's not as if you're, it's not a single day of work. If you see, I love to speak on the stage. I love to, what do you call, spread the message, inspire and motivate people, especially the kind of work that I'm doing. And for instance, like today, it's a whole packed day, but it doesn't feel like, because you simply love what you're doing. So once you do that, once you know it brings you more joy, the energy generation happens automatic. You don't have to make any endeavor to hold on to your energy, or you, there's not a single dull moment in the day where you feel, oh god, I'm tired, I can't go on, I need my nap, I need the break, I need to freshen up, whatever it is. It's back to back happening, and you're enjoying every moment of it. In fact, it gets better. For instance, when students vouch, when Vishal speaks on the stage for 8 to 9 hours, they only feel that his energy gets better as the day progresses. So even if that person, you watch him talk for 6 hours, 7 hours, at the end of the day, you find that person in his highest energy form. That is the power of energy, by doing something that brings you joy. For him, speaking and influencing people brings him joy. That's what it is. So make a list of these things. That's the second step. And the third step, my favorite one, is always take your own self-care seriously. You can never mess with your own self-care. And trust me when I say this, guys, self-care is not luxury, it is a necessity. And it can never be a one-day phenomena. I've seen people who toil throughout the whole week or 10 days in a row, and the 11th day they taken off, go to a spa, go to a beach and enjoy. That's not how it is. You cannot replace this by doing it one day. It's not a one-day phenomena. It's a regular practice. It's just not about going to the spa or something, but your self care begins with these three things: the way you rest yourself, the way you feed yourself, and the way you take care of your emotional self. These three things make up your self care. And Robin Sharma, he says he cannot emphasize the importance of these three things enough. Your rest is perennial importance, because what he says is the shortest cut, the shortest route to die early is to sleep less. That's what it is. If you want a short way to live, to leave the planet earth the earliest that you can, do this thing, sleep for as much less as you can. That's what it is. So do yourself a favor. If you want to be the powerhouse of energy, take at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep, take good nutrition, rest, exercise, and emotions. These three are the things that have to be kept intact when you really want to take self-care seriously. And this is one area where you cannot mess with. I've got my personal experience in this area where there was a time where I really messed up with this, and that it all manifested everywhere, in my skin and my health. It all came out. It was a much delayed realization that it's nothing, your cosmetology is not going to make any difference unless and until you make the difference from inside by resting enough and you're feeding your body good food. That's how it is. In my case, it was absence of self-care, good lack of good sleep. That's been a biggest deterrent. That's what I have made up for it, but after losing a lot of things. So that's what I tell people, that you have to take self-care very seriously. That's the most important part in generating the energy. How many of us do that? How many of us can relate to, as I share it? Do you feel that has it been a part of your journey too, where you have maybe not taken care of yourself enough, or maybe you've seen that manifesting in your body somehow or the other? Have you seen that? Please share if you've seen that, because that is a very important thing. A lot of people do falter on these things. Not many people are upright in sharing, but that has been a very important part. So these Three thing, guys, make a note. I repeat the three steps again. These three steps are towards generating more energy so that you become the powerhouse of energy that you've always wanted, admired, or sometimes envied from other people. Step number one is be the energy pace setter in any room or any relationship that you're in. Be conscious of it before you begin the conversation, before you enter the room, or before you begin your date with your spouse or anything. Remember that you are responsible for bringing energy to this relationship and conversation right now. Step number two is make a list of three things that give you more joy. The people that give you more joy, the pursuits that give you more joy, and the places that give you more joy. And first thing in the morning, do that thing which gives you the most energy. It could be any of the things that we just discussed. And the step number three is take self-care seriously. It's your responsibility to take care of yourself. Three things are most important here: your rest, your diet, your nutrition, your exercise, and your mindset, your emotions, right? So these are the three simple steps I'd love if you could follow. Take a daily oath, to follow this, because each of these steps is something that you can follow on a daily basis. Notice how you're doing on each of these three terms. Notice the little change that is making in you, where it is working, where it is not working. Are you having any realizations? And as I harp every time, try to journal everything. On your road to your success, journaling is so, so important. You can never undermine the value of journaling. At the end of the day, when you're retiring for bed, just journal down everything. Journal down your thoughts that this practice has been good. I followed this practice today, and this is the result that I got. My life has changed with journaling, and so will yours. Try to journal everything that you go through. In a period of time, it will become your diary of life lessons. When you go through your journal, it's such an amazing experience, guys. That's my favorite day when I do self introspection with my journal in hand. It's always with me, all the time. This goes with me to work. It goes with me at bedtime. So it's inseparable part of you, your journal. So try to do that. Try to journal. Yes, we have some shares here. The Niduli Sudhi shares that effectiveness of sleep is not determined by the number of hours we sleep, but also by the quality of how we sleep. Absolutely true. But there is research that says that people who sleep less than 6 hours, their focus and their attention span is much shorter versus people who sleep for adequate number of hours. Also, there's one more misconception that sleep can be made up over a period of time. It can never be made up. So, for instance, you want to give your body 5 hours of sleep for 5 consecutive days, and then maybe make up by oversleeping on weekends. That's not true. That's only in your head. You think that maybe you have made up. That's a self-satisfactory thing, but that's never the case. Sleep can never be made up. Devesh says, started gymming last year, has increased energy and positivity a lot in me. Yes, movement. Devesh, movement is super important, and that's what you've given your body. And understand, guys, there's nothing that can produce more energy in your body than when you move. That's what when we get to programs that coach us on how to become better speakers. This is one thing which is of utmost importance. You have to give your body the necessary movement even before you're stepping up on stage, and that goes to everything that you do. Thank you for sharing. And yes, Girish says, I'm facing the consequences of not taking care of myself. Thank you for sharing, Girish. And that's an early realization, I would say. Try taking these steps and self care. Yes, you can never undermine the value of self care. Thank you for sharing. So, Puneet Mishra says, how about noting down events for which you feel grateful? Gratitude journal. Yes, there has been a whole show discussion on this topic. Your gratitude journal is one thing that should always keep with yourself. That's again could be a part of that's a part of my diary here at the end of it where I note down there's always a page which thanks people and thanks the universe for all the little pleasures of life that I've had. And that makes it such a satisfactory exercise, guys. Go back to the show where we've spoken on gratitude. There's a whole lot of it goes on. So from today onwards, I will think about my health. Thank you so much, Sanjay. You should think about it. And by doing that, you do yourself a favor, you do your family a favor, right? Kalyan Kulkarni shares, if you're conscious enough, your body tells you what it needs. Absolutely. You should read Louise Hay on this. She has a lot to talk on this topic in a book called You Can Heal Your Life. So that's it, guys. And for those talking about books, for those who are yet to get a copy of the book, please go on to malkanbook.com, book yourself a copy of hashtag cash tags, which is much more than just the trading systems and how to become a better trader. A lot of stuff on mindset. It talks on affirmations, gratitude, and a lot more. So thank you so much for listening. I hope it was a good framework. Try to follow this, and as usual, keep giving us your feedback and your comments. And if there's any topic that you'd like me to talk about next Wednesday, please feel free to share that as well. Thank you so much. Have a great afternoon. Goodbye.